All right, here we go. Episode 30, Touching Tips.
What's up, guys?
Wilkie and your boy Brennan back after the holiday break.
Yeah. How were your holidays?
They're all right.
Yeah.
Had a good time with my in-laws. My old man dog decided he had to go to the emergency vet on Christmas Eve, so that was great.
That sucks.
Yeah.
Is he all right?
Yeah, he's fine now. I don't know what he got into. I saw him licking a little bit of stuff, and he's always into shit. And I pulled him away, and he must have gotten into more that I didn't see. But they had to take an X-ray. He already has like a pancreatitis problem. That's why I make him his own food.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So he was showing all the symptoms of having the pancreatitis flare up again. He was vomiting. Basically he just threw up everything he had in his system, and then he was throwing up bile. And he just couldn't get comfortable. And that's what we were like, man, he can't even lay down. Like, all right, we got to do something. So I took him in. He had to get an X-ray. They found out, they said he ingested a bunch of sand, which I guess is bad news for a smaller, older dog.
Yeah. I would imagine it's bad news for anything.
Yeah, but my brother-in-law's dog ate some sand too, and he was just he just had a bad couple days.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Whereas now I had to take my dog my dog's like
old,
15,
he's
16
old fucking
years
dog.
old.
Yeah.
But he had to get hooked up to like an IV and a catheter, and basically just flushed him out. The vet tech was like, he took a big sandy shit, and then I had
It's like fucking Play-Doh coming out.
I guess I wasn't there for it. And it's in the South too, so everybody's like so nice about it.
Oh yeah, because you were down south. Yeah, that's
like,
right.
Oh, hey,
Yeah.
you just took a big old sand. you're like, I know you hate me. You're just masking it right now, but yeah. So $1,300 later, and he just finished the rest of this like no fat food that they gave us. I guess digesting fat is something that the pancreas flares up with. So,
Yeah.
so just another thing for me to look out for. When I'm breaking the dog food down, try to get as much fat off the chicken as I can, I guess.
Yeah.
So it is what it is. He's done with that food. He's back on the on the homemade stuff, and it's probably what I'm doing when we get done with this is defrosting another batch and throwing that in the pots. You know what I mean? So
Yeah. It's funny that you talk about the Southerners always being like nice and shit, because I always say that to people who like sit at the bar. Like people who are asking me like how I'm doing, or like when I greet them, they're like, fucking bubbly and like, hey, how are you? It's like, where are you from? They're like, I'm from the Midwest, or I'm from South, or I'm from fucking Washington. It's like, I knew you weren't from around here because you're not a miserable fucking asshole.
yeah.
It's like, it's the telltale sign. The moment you sit down and you're not in a fucking shitty mood, it's like, well, you're not from New England. Where are you from? Yeah.
Or it's not even like that. I feel like New Englanders have manners, but that's essentially like where there's no emotional
That's where you draw the line
to the manners. Like you just say good and you.
Yeah, exactly.
And they say good and that's it. But
Yeah.
where like the Midwesterners and the Southerners are like, oh, I'm going to get to know this person.
Right.
I'm going to have a memorable exchange. It's like, bro, you're like a fucking clown in the circus to me. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like I'm never going to see you, especially at my job most of the time. Like I'm never going to see you again.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
What are we talking for? Like look at your phone.
Yeah. Yeah, isn't there anything better you could be doing other than fucking bothering me? Anyway, that was just funny.
Yeah, somebody asked me that I had like it's still kind of killing me that I did this, but somebody like these two guys sat down at the airport and they were like, "What's your best drink?" And I was like,
God.
"I don't do that here." And they're like, "What?" I was like, "We don't have the tools." I was like, "This is the most basic trash bar I've ever worked at."
Yeah.
I go, "Have a screwdriver."
Yeah.
And they're like, "Really?" I'm like, "I'm just being honest with you."
Yeah.
And they're like, all right, we can respect that. And then I like gave him the drinks, and I was like, man, I could have made him something nice. But I was like, fuck it. Fuck it.
There you go.
So, yeah. I don't know. I mean, speaking of saying fuck it or cancel culture or something, my boy John Gruden's back.
Yeah, he's
Back in the mix.
He's a prominent player on Barstool Sports now.
It's one of the most entertaining new additions to Barstool
Yeah.
that I've seen in a long time.
I mean, the dude did fucking Monday Night Football for what, 12, 13 years, something like that?
Yeah.
Like, so I mean, yeah, he's good at like being in front of a camera,
But
you know?
but he just, it's like the stuff that he talks about, like he's like a real bro, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I've seen three things that I thoroughly enjoyed. Like they just have like this, like theater that they watch the games in, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
it's like Gruden and Big Cat, who's like a Cubs fan.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it must have been, or not a Cubs, Bears fan.
Yeah.
So it must have been I don't know, it's dwindling down. There's not a whole, usually there's like 12, 15 guys in there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now it's maybe there's like 4 guys in there,
Right.
you know?
The novelty is worn
And
off.
it must have been like the end of the night. And you can tell like they're drinking beers and stuff. And Gruden, he's kind of got that like Keystone Light look on his
Yeah.
face. It's like he's
The
feeling it.
rosy cheeks.
And he's just sitting there like talking to Big Cat. And he just keeps like smacking him on his leg. He's
Yeah.
like, you see that? You see that? And it's
Yeah.
like, yo, dude, John Gruden is having the time of his life at Barstool right now. And another thing that I saw, he tries to teach one play. And it just shows
Yeah.
you like how complicated like organized football really
Oh,
is.
yeah.
If you've never played or don't know anything about it, you're just watching it as a casual fan. Like you're like, oh, the guy, he wasn't in the right position. Da 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 da. It's like, bro, you hear them bark this thing out
Yeah.
and expect them to like pick all this shit up and line up in a hostile territory in the freezing cold. Like,
Yeah.
it's a game.
Especially with 70,000 people screaming at you.
It's not
Yeah.
just a bunch of like dumb jocks running around on Sunday. Like these motherfuckers are like in the classroom studying this shit.
Yeah.
So anyway, he takes like there's 11 guys in the field, right? So he's like, you're the QB, you guys are the linemen, you're the running back, you're the fullback, you're the wide receivers, it's more importantly, you're the X, you're the Z, whatever. And he breaks down this one play and he makes them learn it in the classroom.
Yeah.
And he's like, now if we do, I forget what he's saying, but he has each part of this call is like you only really have to know one part of it to know what to do
Yeah.
for yourself. But if you want to master the whole thing, then
You need to know
explains
everything. Yeah.
everything. So, but I mean, the linemen don't need to know what the wide
Right. Yeah.
receivers are doing.
Block,
you know, but
you're blocking the fucking A gap or something like that.
But
yeah.
he's got this thing where let's just say it's like 22 instead of 23.
Yeah.
He's like, so if I call 22, you do this. If I call 23, you do this. And there's multiple instances of this in this
In the one play. Yeah.
So then, he's in the classroom and he's like, and what do you do if you do this? And he gets it all to the point to where he's like confident now that everybody knows all the answers. Then he takes them out to the little practice field and they like run the play. And it still takes him like 5 attempts to
Yeah.
like run the play the right way. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? That's just installing
play.
one play.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's crazy.
And some of these fucking playbooks have like hundreds of plays in them.
And
you know?
I thought about a conversation we've had multiple times about the plight of Jason Campbell in the NFL, right?
Yeah.
He went through like 7 different OCs
Yeah.
and 7
Learning a new
seasons or
system
something
every
like that.
year.
And it's like you had to learn that like that's incredible. That is an incredible
Yeah.
amount of like dedication. And you look back at Jason Campbell, you probably you just had like a mediocre career, but it's like, could you have done that?
No.
Would you have been dedicated enough to learn that?
Yeah,
Like,
I mean that's why.
crazy.
I mean, first of all, like I try to stop myself from doing this any chance I get, but I never tell I never say like, oh, that person sucks when they're like a professional athlete. I'll say something along the lines of like, hey, this guy isn't very good, because you could not be very good in the NFL, but to say that somebody sucks in the NFL, it's like Mark Sanchez is better at playing quarterback than you will be at anything in your
Yeah.
life. And it's not even close. Like, he's better at being a quarterback as a failed quote unquote bust of an embarrassment of a quarterback in the NFL than 99.9999% of people will be good at anything. Like, there's just so, fucking bunch of, armchair fucking assholes watching television on fucking Sundays being like, this guy's fucking trash, laughing about the butt fumble. It's like,
Yeah.
you're a fat fucking embarrassment.
Yo, speaking of good Barstool content, they had Blake Bortles on a few times.
Blake Bortles is funny.
And he's
Yeah.
funny, and
Yeah.
they talk about like they're like, "What'd you make like $90 million?" And he's
Yeah.
like, "Yeah."
Yeah.
And he's like, "And I suck." You know what I
Well,
mean? He's like very funny about it.
Yeah.
And it's like they record something where his wife is like asking him some kind of like Cosmo quiz or something, and he's like, "What's the first thing you do in the morning?" He's like, "Probably just piss."
Yeah.
Just piss.
Uh.
And like, what would you be doing if you didn't work football? He's like, working construction, ripping cigs.
Yeah.
Like, he's just he's a bro.
Yeah. He looks exactly like Ben Roethlisberger, too. Like, I feel like I see them both, and I'm just like, I don't know which one's which.
That'd be funny. We should
Yeah.
superimpose their faces on like Step Brothers or Talladega Nights or
Yeah.
something like that. So,
Yeah.
yeah. And then there was one other thing that Gruden did that was hilarious, but I forget now. I'll have to.
Write a bunch of emails about black people. That was pretty funny.
Was it about black people? I thought it was
Yeah.
I thought it was just calling people fags.
No, I think it was about black. I think.
There's no way, dude. There's no way he's on bar. There's no way there's no way he's coming back from that.
I mean, I can look it up. But
Like Kramer is still dead from that. There's not a Seinfeld reunion for the most popular TV show ever because Kramer said the N-word twice in anger. There's no way Gruden's back if it's about I feel like he got canceled for calling people gay.
Was it gay? I thought there was black shit in it too.
I don't know. If there is, then I feel bad because now I don't want to support John Gruden being one of the fellas.
Hold on. The New York Times in which he made homophobic and misogynist following an earlier report of racist statements about a union leader. So yeah, I mean he made some racist statements. Too.
Oh, it was about. I know who he was talking about. It's about I think the guy's dead now. It was the head of the NFLPA. I remember he used to be on ESPN all the time.
Yeah.
And that was my background noise.
Yeah. He in the emails, Gruden called the league's commissioner Roger Goodell a faggot.
Positive,
which I mean he is. Yeah. A clueless anti-football pussy.
Nice.
That's a good one too. And then Goodell should not have pressured Jeff Fisher, then the coach of the Rams, to draft queers. A reference to Michael Sam. He's I mean, not great, but
but still not. I haven't heard anything racist.
Yeah, I don't know what. I think the racist shit was about something else.
No, I'm telling you, all he said was something like he said that black
called
bastard.
Somebody else a nervous, clueless pussy. That's kind of a good one. The league is all right. He wrote to Allen in 2011, which he used racist terms to describe Smith, who is black. In that email, Gruden, who is white and blah, 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 criticized Smith's intelligence and used a racist trope to describe his face. So probably big lips, I would imagine, or something like that. Or maybe I'm being racist now.
It seems like stuff we just make fun of each other about in the Northeast, and it's not a big deal.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. They didn't go into exactly what he said, but I mean, apparently it was racist, whatever it was. So
I don't know.
Maybe I'm just believing in fake news here.
It's not fake news. They're just throwing fuel on the fire. You know what I mean? It's you already got them for the other stuff,
right? Yeah.
And it's I don't know. I grew up.
You know what it is actually? The homophobic shit, black people actually fuck with. So then to get all the black people against him, then they were like, well, he's racist too. You know, it's all right, well. Because black people are the fucking most homophobic people in the fucking world. That's just a fact, Anyway, maybe that's racist too.
I don't think it is. Just observing things.
Yep. By and large, black people don't like gay people.
This whole time, I've been talking about how much of a bummer it must have been to be a Judas Priest fan and be like, yo, that dude's gay. And be like, what?
Yeah.
No! But it's if you ask me to rank, Biggie is one of my favorite rappers.
Yeah, I mean,
you don't think he's getting butt fucked by Puffy?
I mean, I don't know.
It's just a bunch of gay rappers running around now. That's what they're a bunch of closet gay homosexual rappers making you believe in that being a gangster is what it's all about.
Yeah.
So Prisons for Profit can continue to, destabilize the black community. We made it into the conspiracies this far into the episode. So
90s rap was basically
just a bunch of gay dudes pretending.
Well, but it was a continuation of 80s crack, kind of where it's just another way of keeping everybody down.
Yeah, they're the crack and the AIDS didn't quite destabilize it enough. Let's turn them all
add
into
some gangster rap.
Yes, but let's make them sag their pants so we can stare at their juicy asses the whole time.
I mean, butt cheeks, man.
Butt cheeking.
All right.
I mean, I don't know. I got this other funny black guy story.
Yeah,
it's kind of positive. If you want to transition into that,
let's do it.
I heard Shane Gillis, my man, talking about this guy Dory Miller, and apparently he was a black dude that was there for Pearl Harbor.
Yeah,
and at this time the ships were segregated and stuff, so he couldn't do anything except he was a cook. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
so he was peeling potatoes while the fucking kamikaze start coming in.
Yeah.
And he was just fuck that. So all hell starts breaking loose. And long story short, he ends up manning an anti-aircraft gun and start shooting the Japanese planes out of the sky.
Yeah.
And as I'm hearing Shane talk about this, I'm this is way more of like an all-American story than Jackie Robinson ever
Yeah.
was. Like, this dude is the first Jackie Robinson. Like, fuck that. He broke the color barrier in
Yeah.
the Army
Yeah.
or the Navy, whatever the fuck they were doing at the time, and was like, I'm not dying in this shit, motherfuckers. Like, and he just started
Get out of my way.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
just started shooting kamikazes out of the sky.
Yeah. I think he must have been
USA! USA! Like, that's awesome, bro.
I'm pretty sure he was the fucking Cuba Gooding Jr. played him in the fucking movie. I think there was a movie called Pearl Harbor, and it had that dude in it. Yeah.
Oh, he
No.
fucking like loses his leg in an accident on that shit.
Oh, he does?
Yeah, nah, that movie is about like a diver.
Yeah, but like Cuba Gooding Jr. No. That's a different movie. That's Men of Honor, I think.
Get
That's
out of here, bro. The two of the same.
No.
This is where the wormhole merges, bro. Like, you saw one thing with the Berensteins, and I saw the other
I'm
thing.
telling you, there's a movie called Pearl Harbor. It started Ben Affleck and some other fucking white guy.
Oh, all right.
And
I don't
Cuba
know this.
Gooding Jr. was like the fifth guy in the movie, but like he played this guy. Yeah.
Was he a cook?
Yeah, I think. Well, I just
I
remember a
gotta watch
scene
it
where he's
now.
like manning a fucking gun, like on the deck of a fucking aircraft carrier or whatever the fuck
Is
it is.
Cuba Gooding Jr. cool? Or is he just
no, probably not.
like the mountain lightning of Wayne Brady's?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah,
Or is Wayne Brady the mountain lightning of Cuba Gooding Jr.?
I don't know. I mean, he's a boy.
Or
he's in
neither
Boys
one
to
of
the Hood.
them Mountain Dew, and they're both.
Yeah, he plays. Plays a very good, approachable black guy.
And what? Yeah,
Yeah.
but he's in like Jerry Maguire.
I love Jerry Maguire.
this other movie?
So don't be talking shit
I
about
don't know.
Jerry
I've never
Maguire.
seen that movie.
It's a fucking great movie.
Of course,
Yeah.
I've only ever seen little
you
pieces.
you
of
complete me, man.
it. Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't know what that means.
It's from the movie. It's a fucking touching moment between Tom Cruise and Renee Zellweger. It's a fucking great romantic comedy. But back to not gay shit. He's in Boys to the Hood. Which Boys to
I
the
haven't
Hood?
seen that movie either.
You've never seen Boys
Nah.
to the Boys in Boys
Yo,
to the Hood.
with
Boys
all-
in the Hood. I'm a fucking idiot. I was combining Boys to Men and Boys in the Hood.
With all of the people who changed their names for Hollywood's sake, Renee fucking Zellweger.
Zellweger.
She,
I feel like
was
you
she
hit
just trying to-
a hard eye on that
Was
one.
she trying to like ride the Schwarzenegger fucking
I don't know.
train?
Maybe.
Like,
Yeah.
what the hell? Who the hell?
Yeah, maybe could have changed that.
Yeah.
So you never saw like? Did you ever see like any of those like fucking like Boys in the Hood, Menace to Society, fucking New Jack City?
I've seen New Jack City.
Yeah.
New Jack City is when they bring like a box of tampons to a drug deal, right?
Yeah.
And they open it up and they're like, what the hell is this? And they're like, for the bullet holes, motherfucker.
Well, it's the Wesley Snipes movie where he goes, "Sit your $5 ass down before I make change."
Damn.
It's like fucking gangster fucking. line.
I never heard. Dude, I think I actually bought that movie on VHS
Yeah.
from a Salvation Army.
Yeah.
And I was watching it in college like that.
Okay. That's legit.
But then I think like 8 Mile came out, and my college roommate was like, we have to watch this every day. I'm like, all right.
You had one of those too. My college roommate watched every single day. It was between The Big Lebowski and Snatch every other day the entire time. I've not watched.
I've watched Snatch a lot,
Dude,
dude.
he
But I've
watched-
never seen the Lebowski in its full.
It's a fucking great movie.
Because I want to know what a fucking Jagul loser bastard is.
I'm telling you, that can't be what he says. I keep meaning to be like, all right, I'm gonna go back and watch it and find that line, but that can't be what he says.
when we finish up,
Yeah.
one of us has to have the app that
All right.
it's streaming on, and we're
Yeah.
gonna find it.
All right. Yeah. So I can't really share any of my like
The
my
only
memories of
I've
like
seen-
watching those movies.
I
Yeah.
haven't even really seen Friday. I doubt if I've ever sat down and watched Friday front to back. I've seen Next Friday a ton of times.
Yeah.
But any of the I don't know, coming of age in
Yeah,
the
the
hood
black movies, yeah, from like
those
the early
black
90s.
movies, like
Well, I'm just saying, like
I've seen the one with Tupac in it probably more than not. What's that?
well,
Juice.
Juice,
Yeah,
yeah.
I've
Above
seen
the
that.
Rim was good too.
I
You
haven't
ever see
seen that.
Oh, Above the Rim's
Yo,
so
you know
good.
what's gonna break your heart?
You hear
I've-
that nutso?
You know what's gonna break your
Boy
heart
says
that
he
I've
owes
never
me
seen
something.
in
What?
its entirety?
What?
White Men Can't Jump.
Yeah, I mean you could.
It's not that good.
I mean, it's all right. It's funny, but like you know what? It's like it's just it's like a 1989 comedy. you
I
know?
feel like Woody Harrelson is an underrated bro.
oh yeah,
I don't
Woody
be giving
Harrelson's
him
awesome. Yeah.
much love.
Yeah.
He's like a big pop proponent back in the day.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, he's the original Matthew McConaughey, and then they kind of like teamed up.
Didn't
yeah.
they make a show together?
Yeah, they were in that movie show True Detective.
I'm gonna have to
Yep.
check that out.
The first season's good. The rest of them suck, but yeah. Well, so I mean, you're not going to understand this at all, so I don't even know why I'm going to even talk about it. But
For the fans,
yeah. So when I was like a kid, like Boys in the Hood came out when I was like real young. I think I was probably like I don't know, maybe like 8 or something. Like that was like an early 90s movie though, like 8 or 9 or 10. But I remember like my first experience with like learning about sex was in that movie, because God knows why I was watching that movie, because nobody watched me ever, I guess. But I'm watching that movie, and there's a part where Cuba Gooding Jr. is like telling his dad a story about him like losing his virginity, and he's just like, yeah, I'm like at this girl's house or whatever, and we're hooking up, and like the grandma comes home and she like smells the sex in the air, and I was like, what the fuck does that mean? Even as a kid, I was like, does sex smell? And then, like, I spent my entire life just being like, I wonder if sex smells. Like, it was like one of those things where until I finally had sex, I was like, this doesn't smell at all.
You're like holding your breath the whole time.
Yeah, it's just like, I was expecting, like, I don't know, man. It's like, what's smelling? Is it like somebody's butt cheeks or something? Like, what does that smell like? It was
Yeah.
such a weird line in that movie to just throw in there and just be like, what the fuck does that even mean? Especially for somebody who's like coming into their formative years, like learning about sex. I was just like, I wonder what that's going to be like.
I
You
was
know?
thinking about all of the things that, like, you know, I'm on like Family Feud, and
Yeah.
it's like we asked 100 people what the smell from sex is, and
Yeah.
I'm like going through it in my head, and I'm just like, I don't know if I even want to talk about any of
Yeah,
this.
no, I
Brennan.
don't either.
Yeah, like
balls and vagina. I
balls,
guess?
butt
Yeah.
cheeks, gross vag, yeah, like
I mean-
BO,
I mean, if sex smells, you're doing it wrong.
yeah.
Yeah, like you got to get the fuck out of there.
Yeah, like at first my brain went to like, I guess you can smell like a condom.
Yeah.
Like you can smell that. You know what I mean? And then I was like, oh no. I feel like Granny's talking about some way grosser shit
Yeah, I
from
don't
when
know.
bathrooms were outside
Yeah.
in a house made out of pallets.
It was a very confusing sentence for like an 11-year-old boy to listen to.
Yeah.
I used to watch fucking movies though that like I had no business watching as a kid. Like one of my first movies. You ever seen the movie? I mean, the answer is no, so I'll just save you the suspense. but
Maybe.
The Doors.
Nope.
No, like the movie about the Doors, like the Val Kilmer movie. But it's basically
About
just
the band?
yeah, the band The
No.
Doors. But yeah, it's just basically a movie about this fucking drunk maniac, fucking and doing drugs like in the goddamn desert. And it's like, I think my dad showed me that movie when I was like in second grade. Like to the point where like it like stayed with me. Like something inside of me changed after I watched that movie. Where I was like, I shouldn't be watching this at all.
Yeah.
Like yeah.
I'm like trying to think of movies. Like I feel like my parents did a pretty good job up until like the third grade.
Yeah.
And then I saw Beavis and Butthead.
Yeah.
And I was like, now that I've seen it, you're never taking
Yeah,
it
you-
away from
you
me. I
can't-
started
yeah.
swearing, and it was great. But as far as movies go, like I can't think of I'm very disappointed in my mom and my stepfather for having me be such a big G.I. Joe fan and never exposing me to Rambo.
Ooh.
Like I
Wow,
never saw Rambo as a child, but I saw Commando like a million times. Like,
Yeah.
you could have had a solid 5 hours of just not dealing with me at all if you just put Rambo into Commando
Yeah.
or vice versa. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like, and then I don't know what my mom, my stepdad, they watched all those like fucking white kung fu movies.
White kung
like
fu movies.
Chuck Norris.
Oh yeah.
Jean-Claude Van Damme.
I mean,
I mean,
JCVD is fucking next level.
Like
He's
both
awesome.
of those movies, like Bloodsport, and what's the other one? That's and with the Kumite.
Yeah, well, that's Bloodsport.
Oh, well, what's
Yeah.
the other one? They like put his brother in a wheelchair? They kill his brother or something? He's got to go.
Damn it! Is that Kickboxer?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's some dude like fucking bashing like
Yeah.
the center tree down or the center.
I mean, they're all in essence the same movie, but Bloodsport, I
Yes.
feel like, is like the crown jewel of the JCVD like fucking filmography.
The guy who's like the 1B in that movie, like the biker dude.
yeah. Oh fuck yeah. Yeah.
He's my boy. When I see him in like other movies, I'm like, there he is.
He always reminds me of Hacksaw Jim Duggan, but I
Yeah.
know he's not Hacksaw Jim
Yeah.
Duggan.
Yeah. Okay. So that, and then a bunch of Chuck Norris shit,
Yeah.
like Operation Delta Force,
Yeah.
where you go save a bunch of like I've seen that way too many times.
Yeah.
And Texas Ranger was big in my house, the TV
Oh
show.
fuck yeah, Walker. Yeah.
And I'm trying to think of and all the other like Arnold movies.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so I don't know if you want to call that like early 90s pre-big action movie shit. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like, I don't know.
We had a lunch lady in middle school who was obsessed with Chuck Norris. I don't know why, I just remember that. But yeah, like
You know that Chuck Norris is a Mexican?
what?
He is.
Really?
He is. You should tell Armando about this.
So he's a Mexican hero?
He is. If you look, like I was on his Wikipedia page, and he's like of Mexican descent. And I'm like, you think of Chuck Norris as like this all-time
Yeah.
USA American? Like,
Right.
It's probably right underneath like Hulk Hogan, Sergeant Slaughter, Chuck Norris. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? But he's a gaucho.
Wow, I did not know that.
He's a fucking gaucho trying to trick you into ordering guacamole for an
I mean, he's
appetizer.
got fucking red hair, so I mean, he's the only fucking red-haired Mexican I've ever seen.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Maybe we'll have to fact check it. Maybe somebody tricked me on Wikipedia doing some foolish.
I don't know. I
Foolish
mean,
things, but-
that one, we're gonna need to dig deeper on.
I mean, speaking of Chuck Norris, kind of, he had like the Patrick Mahomes haircut before Patrick Mahomes had it.
He was,
Like Patrick Mahomes just has like an urban mullet,
yeah. Well,
and like all of the lesbians now are copying this haircut,
yeah.
and they all love the Kansas City Chiefs.
Are lesbians rocking around the Mahomes?
Bro,
now?
I've seen so many lesbians with like Patrick Mahomes, like the curly in the back mullet, with like the fade and maybe a little like Vanilla Ice.
Yeah. Oh,
in
I
the
feel
side.
like in that case, it's lesbians and like 12-year-old boys, because I feel like I can't. Yeah, it's all fucking that stupid llama hair where it's just
Yes.
like look like a goddamn alpaca.
And they're like wearing Crocs.
yeah, with like high socks. What the fuck is with the high
You've
socks?
seen that? I
Oh
was just
yeah.
gonna say that. That's like the new thing that where we have now become nerds with the low cut socks.
Could you imagine how badly you would have gotten your fucking ass beat, like dressing the way that these kids are dressing in like your
Yeah.
days of middle school?
Well, no, because
Yeah.
everybody's dressing like that.
Yeah,
right?
well, I'm just saying though, if you picked up one of these kids and put them in like a middle school in like
Oh, yeah.
1994, like they would have gotten the
You better-
absolute fuck ridiculed
Yeah, you
out
better
of them.
be dropping
Yeah.
them off to like an art school or something.
Yeah, I don't even know if that would help you. Even the fucking art kids back then would have been like, fucking loser, you know?
Even like any rendition of the Croc, like there's like a Yeezy version of it.
Yeah.
There's like an UGG version of it.
Yeah.
Like even men, I'm sorry, Tom Brady, even men walking around with these UGGs that are like, they're
Oh, yeah.
Crocs, but they're made out of cloth. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I see that and I'm like, yo, those are for girls.
Yeah.
Just like the last rant that I was talking about, the slip-on
I was going to say,
diet cowboy boots.
yeah, anything that doesn't have laces is kind of like suspect
Yeah.
to me. Yeah.
Yeah, I had to send. I won't put him on blast by name, but I had to send you that screenshot of
Yeah.
our boy and be
Yeah.
like, "Yo, this is exactly what I'm talking about right
Yeah,
now."
whatever, man. But the guy's trying to just make it, you know?
Trying to make it cutting hair, cutting girls' hair. Like, what the fuck are you doing with those, bro?
Whatever. Hey, whatever. If anyone could pull it off, it's him, you know?
No.
I'm just saying, there's certain
Not
things that
allowed.
a 6'3", 240-pound black guy could pull off that I cannot.
Yeah, I mean,
you know?
like, if
Yeah.
it comes down to it, it's like, do you want to fight him about it? It's like,
Yeah, no,
nah,
exactly.
Nah,
Dude,
this is America.
Exactly. Dude can wear whatever the fuck he wants.
This
you
is
know?
America. I mean, I guess he's only like 40 years late to the party. You know what I mean? Like dudes wearing like, or maybe even more longer than that. Like you go back and look at pictures of like rock and rollers from the 60s.
Oh, yeah. They're
and
all
you're
wearing
like,
that shit.
What
Yeah.
are those,
Yeah.
dude? Nah, because they got the heels.
Well, yeah, they're all dressed up like they're in the fucking Italian Renaissance. You know, they look fucking ridiculous.
Like, it's some
Yeah.
of the stuff that you see, and it gets
fucking
even
puffy shirts and shit.
it gets even worse in the 80s, man.
Oh yeah.
Holy
Well, yeah.
shit. But I mean, that does kind of bring me into this funny thing that I saw. This lady, I saw it in the doom scroll, but she's like basically talking about scamming.
Yep.
Like, you know what I mean? Like stealing people's like credit cards and shit. And like, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
that kind of scamming.
Yeah.
And they asked her like if she feels bad about it. And she's like, hell no, I'm a black lady in America. I'm 400 years late to the party.
Yeah.
And I was like, holy shit. Like, if you're going to break anybody's balls about being late and being black at the same time,
Yeah.
she just gave you the best rocket missile ammunition ever. Like, here comes my boy 400 years late like he always is. Like,
Oh, so you're talking like black people being late for everything?
Yeah.
Yeah. My
because that's what I was trying to say earlier. Like, all this stuff that, like, John Gruden seems to be getting in trouble for is,
Yeah.
like, stuff that my dad's group of, like, I won't call them co-work. My dad was a delivery guy, right?
Yeah.
So you just run into a bunch of other delivery guys at all the different stores
Yeah.
that you go to. And they're not all fucking white guys, you know what I mean? They're all mixed race motherfuckers. Like, I remember just breaking balls about that shit from even, like, the 5th grade.
Yeah.
Like, the first time, you know what I mean? I probably went on my dad's truck. Like, it was like, oh, look, this black motherfucker. Not my dad saying that, but just, you hear this shit. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's like men talking. Like, you're in, like, the locker room.
Right.
Essentially, that Trump got in trouble for grabbing her by the pussy and shit.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, that's what I'm from. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? I just remember that being, like, a thing. And even even in grade school and stuff, I remember like not being a big deal. Like it was funny.
Yeah.
Like our dads thought it was funny. They passed it down to us, and then all of a sudden, like now you just can't joke about that, or it's just like a New England thing. It's too. You get a little far down south, it's still too sensitive down there to be.
Well, it's an exposure thing. A lot of people who don't actually spend time with any black people think that it must be offensive or something. But black people know they're late to everything. Ask them. You know, like my wife went to a baby shower with like a friend of ours who's, you know, they're all like Cape Verdean, right? The baby shower was at like 1 PM, you know, or whatever. That was like the time that was stated on the thing. So my wife shows up at like 12:50 to this like fucking hall or whatever. No one is there. Not a single person, right? Not anyone. Not even the people that fucking work there are there. Like, she's just, like, hanging out at this hall. Nobody's there. Like, 1:15, nobody's there. 1:45, finally, like, one of the sisters shows up to start, like, setting up. Like, it's not until, like, 3 o'clock in the afternoon that, like, this thing actually starts. And then to which she's just like, I was here at, like, 12:50. Like, where were you guys? It's like, why did you show up then? And it's like, because it said on the
That's what
fucking
it said.
invitation, 1 o'clock.
Yeah.
Like, they just do not show up to anything.
That's
on time.
hilarious.
Yeah, which is fine. That's just one of their weird quirks.
I would have like left your present in the middle of a parking lot and left after like half hour. I would have been like, if it's still there when you get there,
But
good
it was just funny that like literally everyone else who was going to this thing knew to not show up at 1 o'clock, the stated time that this fucking thing started. Like, just it was known for everyone who wasn't. You know, my wife was the only white girl there. That was it. Yeah.
I mean, respect to your wife for going to a baby shower. I would never want to do that.
Well,
I don't think I've ever been to one.
well, you're not supposed to. That's a chick thing.
I feel like sometimes they have like these joint ones.
Well, those
I've seen
people
them.
are.
I've seen them in the doom scroll and been
Yeah.
like, not me.
Yeah, also with that. Yeah, the guy just shows up at the end to pick up the fucking presents. That's the rule. That's the roles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The whole concept is like so funny to me.
What?
Like
Getting a bunch of shit for having a baby?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like the whole, it's like, hey,
Well, I can tell you right now.
I fucking cream pied my wife, and we're gonna let this thing grow into a, I don't know what the big word for a
being?
sentient being to make its own decisions. You want to give me some gifts? You give me some gifts about that?
There you go. I can't pull out of a parking spot.
Yeah.
You want to give me a fucking a new swaddle blanket?
Yeah. It was like the whole thing, like you get married and like the parents like start pressuring you to like have kids, and it's like,
Yeah.
you know what you're talking about right now?
You did this, don't you remember
like
this? Yeah, this
No,
sucks.
I'm not talking about just having the kid. It's like the whole. It's like,
Oh, I know. Yeah. Are you plowing my daughter?
Yeah.
You know.
are
You better be coming in her. Yeah, you better be coming in her. Don't you be pulling out.
That's what I'm talking about.
Go balls deep in that shit.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, it is kind of weird, I guess.
I didn't make your family not have to give me a dowry for nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
That's hilarious.
I want a grandson. Can you please just cream my daughter?
That's right. That brings me to like another thing on this list. Like, it's like the phrase "with all due respect."
Yeah.
It could be none.
Well, that's true. I mean, anytime
With all
you hear,
due,
yeah,
like if you're due none, like that's a funny way.
whenever you hear "with all due respect," it always is followed up by like something that's just like fucking disrespectful as fuck too. So
Or it's like I need
Yeah.
more money for this.
yeah. Oh, that too. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. I watch when I was away on vacation, I was exposed to cable TV again
Yeah.
for the first time in probably since I was down there last time.
Right.
And it reminded me of a dying mall. Because
Yeah.
I used to watch cable, and like, you know, there'd be stuff that you wanted to record.
Yeah.
You would record to watch it later.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? On the TiVo or whatever that thing was called. And now it's like literally I
It's
went
like a
back and
husk
forth
of what it
between
once
like
was.
My 600-pound life, like some show about
Solid.
fucking midgets. Like they got all these midgets together. Like that
Little
fucking
people.
naturally exists in the wild. Like this is a 1 in whatever 10,000
What do you mean
phenomenon.
they exist in the wild? Were they like in the fucking like meadows and shit? Were they like a herd of stallions?
No,
what are
but
you
it's
talking
like they're
about?
not all living in one fucking house together. There's like one midget per like 10,000 people. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? They have nothing but them. Like they've all congregated together.
Yeah.
Like the robots and iRobot. You can't explain why they you know, and also it's like, so I believe the show is like they're in a family.
Yeah.
It's like, do you motherfuckers not understand how genetics work? Like you're just gonna make more little people.
That's not
It's like,
true. That's not, there's that little the little people couple or whatever. I forget what their names was, but they had like normal sized kids.
did they have one midget?
maybe they had one. But I'm just
Okay,
saying,
then that's enough for you not to fucking
I'm not
have
saying
a
the
baby
odds,
shower.
Yeah, I'm not saying that the odds aren't
Like,
better
what
that
are
you have
you
a fucking
doing?
Yeah, but whatever. They seem happy. Well, yeah, where the fuck am I?
Like
know?
you can't tell me that my brother growing up in the situation that he didn't play a role in the back of my head of not wanting to have children.
Yeah.
And you motherfuckers are like, look at how bad my struggle is. Wouldn't it be amazing to continue on another generation of genetic struggling?
Yeah.
Like, get the fuck out of here. Like, you're gonna curse another soul into living that life?
I don't
Because
know. I
you
mean,
think you're so fucking cool that like a half clone version of yourself needed to come into existence?
Yeah. Well,
Holy shit.
I mean, maybe this is going to be stupid of me to say, but now that I think about it, is there what's the smallest person in the world? Like in the history of the world? Like, would a little person and a little person, could they make like what would then be their equivalent of a little person?
Like, could you breed a human chihuahua?
Yes, exactly. Like, could you end
Now
up-
I'm in. Now I'm in, and your Thurman, Merman, Gurman grandfather is celebrating. He's cheering you from the decks, being like, yes.
Yeah. Oh, I'm just saying.
Genetic modification of a smaller race. Yes.
Eugenics.
Yes. Oh, you had to get me with the fucking vocabulary.
Yeah,
Your
sorry.
diction is so much bigger than mine.
Sorry. It hasn't done me any good. We're still in the same basement.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Speaking of funny puns on diction, what about this sad meme that I came across that broke both of our hearts, being Salt and Vinegar chip fans?
Are the piss kink of the chip world.
Yeah. It just made me think. I mean, whoever wrote that has obviously checked the Venn diagram on both sides of things.
I don't understand, like, first of all, who doesn't love salt and vinegar chips? Like, they're fucking delicious.
I guess people that don't like having pee in their mouth.
Are the piss kink of the chip world. I mean, I guess, you know what?
it just
Honestly-
leads me to believe that the person who wrote that has been down both roads. And they're
right.
telling you that that's what it tastes like.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So salt and vinegar chips, if that's the piss kink of the chip world, then I kind of need to start exploring a piss kink then, I guess. Like, to me, that's like, it must taste
You know, that
good.
is Brennan, you never cease to amaze me.
Just saying.
And I'm on board because that is my favorite.
I'm gonna
I think
go
it's
buy
my
some
favorite.
go
my
buy some
favorite
rubber
chip.
sheets.
Bro, how funny is that part in Horrible Bosses when they like look out for wet work and the guy's like, I've been driving for 7 hours drinking water the whole time. They put it together. They're like, oh shit. Yeah. How about another thing from my vacation rental? It's kind of like you go down there and it's like a like an Airbnb kind of setup.
Yep.
You know, so there's like, they have everything's there. Like it's like a full kitchen with like plateware and silverware and, you know, I think stuff just gets left there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So there'll be like a random, you know, I don't know, fucking waffle maker. Like this thing had like 2 toasters. You know, it had a Keurig and a coffee maker.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just like, I don't know. It's just like a bunch of shit. It's like, it looks like somebody just goes to like Salvation Army. It's like, oh yeah, they probably, here's a few more spatulas.
Right.
You know, and they throw them in there. But there's a fucking spice rack.
Okay.
Are you using a community spice rack to cook your food?
Yeah, why not?
I just don't trust people, dude. It's the same thing with like they've gotten rid of the little mini bottles at the hotels and they have like the thing on the
Yeah,
wall.
where it's like mounted
Like
on there.
who's stopping somebody from piss kinking that?
Yeah.
Or fucking coming in it. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like, so to me,
Here's
it's
the
just
thing,
like,
though.
or putting drugs in it. Like, who's to say that parsley isn't some
Oh, my
salvia,
God.
and now you're gonna go live in an underwater world for 6 months with a brand new life?
You're turning into my mother, man. I remember my mother being like, don't use the payphones in New York City. They're all covered in fucking acid. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about, lady?
Well, I remember the payphones having like HIV syringes in the change
Yeah, all right.
thing. I
yeah.
remember that being a thing, but
Well, so here's the thing with all of that shit is like there's a trust that's just implicit when you just like live in the world. Like you can't go to like an Airbnb and then be like, you know, did somebody put this spatula up their asshole and then like
see, I didn't even think about that one.
and then put your fucking head down on a fucking pillowcase that like somebody else was laying on like
Yeah, it
24
came
hours
on that
earlier.
too, yeah.
Yeah. I'm just saying, like, you can't pay. This is like your conspiracy theory shit where it's just like you can't,
think about
you
it too
can't have
much.
it both ways. Like, if you're gonna freak out about these small minutia things, then you have to just like be like, all right, well, I'm never going to Airbnb again. Like, period. You know, you can't go to one and then complain that like, or like wonder whether or not somebody like came on top of like, or came inside of the shampoo bottle. You know, like there's just
you got to wonder about that.
Actually, I had a buddy who in high school who would not eat or drink anything that was white. I don't know if I told you this before. No, wouldn't do it because he was afraid somebody came in it. Like, and it didn't matter. It was like milk, it was sour cream, it was fucking cream cheese, it was everything. No matter what, he did not consume foods that were white. And it was only because of that. To the point where I was like, dude, like, this is something you should talk to somebody about. Like, why are you going through life just worried everyone is coming in everything?
Yeah, that's like an OCD
well, it's
kind
just,
of
it's like
pre-schizophrenia trait in
that's
the
true.
world.
I don't know where that kid ended up, so maybe he did end up fucking crazy. Actually, I went.
Brandon, you got a long list of people. Like, you're like the only one that made it of everybody.
I was just gonna say, did I ever tell you the story about the kid who I knew who like was like a fucking he killed himself like after like an FBI standoff, like.
No.
So he was always kind of a weird kid and did a lot of drugs, but he was a fun kid when I was like younger. But like this is somewhat recently, maybe like 4 or 5 years ago, and like I'd lost touch with him for like 10 years. But he was always, like I said, a fucking whack job. So, but lo and behold, he was like in a FBI standoff where he was locked in his basement with like, I don't know, hundreds of pounds of like fertilizer and shit. Like he was making bombs. Like, and the FBI like fucking was outside of his house and he killed himself. Like, blew his fucking brains out. It was just like, but then somebody like somebody sent me the fucking like news clipping or whatever. It was like, look what so and so's up to, and I read it. I was like, this is fucking crazy. You know.
Also, I mean, that takes me to two things in my life. You're a pussy twice, because killing yourself is for pussies. And also, if you're going to kill yourself in a fucking bomb manufacturing plant with a bunch of cops around you, light some fucking bombs off, you fucking pussy. And it also brought me to another point that I had written down where I think somebody in my family's a police officer, and there was like a cop killer on the loose. And I'm like, if I'm a cop, I'm killing that motherfucker.
Well, I think you share the same sentiment as a lot of cops.
Like I agree.
Like oops.
Like no, I slipped, dude. I'm sorry. Like, what do I got to take a couple months of paid leave off for my slip up here?
That chicken parm sub looked like a gun. Yeah.
Yeah, I have to be celebrated by my friends for the rest of my life. Like, I'm never buying a beer for myself again because I accidentally killed this guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
pretty much.
Yeah. But wanted dead or alive. Yeah, right. That motherfucker is dead.
Yeah. Oh no, I'm on paid leave? That's terrible.
And like it even goes to the point where like if I saw that guy, I don't even know if he's on the loose or not yet. I assume he can't be smart enough to still be on the loose. But if I see if the news comes and like the arresting officer is like walking him in, it's like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
You kill him.
Yeah. How did he get this far?
Yeah, like, what are you doing right now?
Yeah, I don't know, but that's another thing though. Is like, you know how many fucking people I've worked with over the years that like I would not save them if they were drowning. So it's like cops got to be the same thing. Where it's kind of like, hey, did you hear fucking Dave got shot? It's like I don't give a fuck about Dave. You know, like fuck that guy.
Nice reference.
Well, you know.
Yeah. I mean, even thinking about that, like I just kind of like imagined like turning my back on somebody in a pond of quicksand and walking away.
Yeah,
I'd be like. I would feel bad. I hate it, but I would feel bad walking away.
I guess you would never know how you'd feel in the moment, but there have been a few people in my life where, like, I 1,000% could just watch die and be fine with it. Might even get a fucking boner, you know? Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, you work with a few people over the years, and you're like, I'd watch him die. And then you get to the point, you're like, he wasn't that bad.
Yeah. It's mostly people that come into my restaurant. Those are the ones that I'm just like, I hope you get hit by a fucking bus, and I mean it.
Wow.
Anyway,
I mean, speaking about Final Destination-esque demises, I was also exposed to a commercial. I haven't quite seen the show, but from what I surmised, this show is called Laid, and it's pretty much like all these people are dying that this broad fucks. So it's like she has like a Final Destination pussy. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
It's like, what are we doing with these shows? Like, how big of a whore does this chick have to be to carry on, like a 12 show?
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, like all these people are dying. It's such a problem. Like, who is this chick like, I don't know, who's like, is she Jenna Jameson? Like, you know, like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I guess I didn't think of it from that angle. It's like, lady, you're a fucking whore.
Like I could see it being like a movie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But like
right.
full
Maybe
on,
like 4 or 5 of them die, but 12 episodes.
Yeah.
Like
holy
what happens
Christ.
if the shit gets picked up? Fucking would have lasts for 5 years. You're killing 60 people with your vagina. Like, come
Yeah.
on, man. But also, isn't that just AIDS? Isn't that
Nice.
Is that how it was like in the 90s? Like, yeah, you could kill people with your vagina and your dick. You know, that's how that works.
Yeah, like if that dude bangs another chick before he dies, now she
oh yeah.
has,
Well, now you're talking butterfly
now
effect.
she has a Final Destination vagina as well.
Yeah. You
It
saw the
just
movie
spreads.
Kids, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't
Was-
worry, it's me, Casper.
Yeah. I met Casper in real life. Yeah.
You gotta get a test.
No, well, he's dead now, right?
No.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure he died a few years ago.
Yo,
Yeah.
you know who's dead that I said I there's a totally you don't say
What?
is the guy who like did that Super Size Me documentary.
Oh yeah, he's dead. Yeah. Yeah.
Holy shit.
And also, they found out like I think he like drank himself to death or something.
No, he died from like cancer.
Yeah, no.
Yes, I read
Was it cancer?
the article, yeah.
Either way, like there was something where like they later found out that all of his Super Size Me shit was also just like, well, he was also binge drinking every day, so that was probably not helping his like all his results as well. So.
America. American semantics on the closed captioning.
Hey, scroll up real quick. There was something on here I think that we skipped over that I was like, oh, what's that? WWE is a Love Everyone campaign going
yeah,
on.
yeah, yeah.
This is coming from the company that like was helmed by a dude who was like pissing and shitting on people during sex. Like, isn't that what he was like doing?
I think
McMahon?
so.
Yeah. I just to
Well,
be
I'm saying, I think there's a bunch of shit about how he's actually a closet homo.
well, I mean,
So it's all about inclusion, you know?
Yeah, but like, funny how for living to make believe is all about inclusion. Funny how the sport from the land of make believe is supporting the land of make believe.
Yeah.
All right. Well, yeah. I just meant like it's just wild that they're just like we need to love everyone. It's like well, try not shitting in their mouths. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
And especially, it's like your whole thing is like fake fighting.
Yeah.
There's no love. You guys aren't fake loving.
Yeah.
You just make these crazy, like, this is like a soap opera for men.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Like, dude, can you imagine? I mean, I guess the WWE had Gold Dust. Were
Yeah.
you watching when he was on?
That was like
It was
after my
pretty
time,
gay.
but yeah, that was definitely really gay.
It's pretty like gay and creepy. So
Yeah.
I guess they've had that before, but I could see more of like a mannish lesbian taking over the WWE more than anything.
Oh well, I mean that's already happened, isn't
like
there?
some chick that like cut
Yeah.
her tits off and has like pecs
Oh, okay. I see what you're
and
saying.
like only wears the bottoms.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And she's like somehow destroys fucking Stone Cold.
Yeah. Oh, going into the men's league. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how that would work with WWE. Whether or not you could have trans. I guess you could. Yeah.
They're all about
They have
inclusion.
a couple fucking female wrestlers though. They're like big ass goth bitches who are fucking hot. If I'm just being honest.
Didn't they have China back in the day?
Oh yeah, yeah. She was a fucking beast.
And then she her life took a turn and she started doing like porns or some shit.
Yeah. Well, I think she was another one of those that was like a fucking like raging alcoholic.
I think yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I feel like steroids and alcohol kind of go hand
Go
in
hand in hand. Yeah.
Of all the drugs that you've done and been exposed to, have you ever contemplated taking steroids?
Well, no, because I was never that guy. But I had kids in my high school that took steroids.
Yeah, but I never got it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Anytime I've ever like seen anybody doing it, I've been like, why?
Well, it's because all the kids who took steroids in high school, in my high school, were all like the kids on like the hockey team who were like trying to get like fucking scholarships to play hockey in college. So I mean, I guess I kind of understood it from like the business angle in that regard. But I mean, yeah, I don't know why the fuck you would ever just take steroids just for the sake of taking steroids.
I just feel like you can break it down in such like a vain manner for me. It's like, would you sacrifice any millimeter of your dick size?
Yeah.
for money and success in this
Yeah.
world? And I'd be like,
It's honestly,
Nah.
it's one of the only things I got going for me. So I'm not.
nah, I'm gonna find another way.
Uh,
I'm gonna keep the blessing that I have. That's like a good thing that I heard too. That's funny. Like if you're struggling with like your mental health and stuff, it's like a good thought to have. Would you trade your life for anybody else's? Like, would you just do a blind trade?
oh yeah, no, I mean no,
No,
Yeah.
you would take the burden that you have over the potential terrible burden that anybody
Right.
else on this planet has.
Well, I
right?
think-
so
I think
it can't
that's
ever
just-
really be that bad.
Yeah, I think that's just recognizing like the sports maker odds, where it's like, hey man, is it 51% that you have a better life than most other people? Yes.
Yeah.
So keep it,
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, I want to fucking, you end up in Bangladesh or something and you're like fucking, washing your hands in the same fucking river that your buddy's taking a shit in 3 feet from you, It's
I mean,
like, no
I'm
thanks.
kind of stealing Chris Rock's joke of like, I'm gonna ride this white thing out.
Yeah. Yeah. That's true. Well, I mean, fuck, even being a black dude, like, if you're a black dude in fucking America, like, I'm sorry, but, like, yeah, you still don't make that trade, because it's still better than being a fucking Laotian guy in a fucking hut village, you know?
Yeah.
Just saying.
That just made me recall a couple of the most racist things that I've ever heard in my life. Whereas I forget who's fucking said this. It might even be in that movie where the guy's talking about why Sicilians are so tan or something.
True Romance.
But he's like, it's something to the effect of like,
the Moors.
I'm all about them having their freedom and shit, but nobody said they had to stay.
Is that from the movie, too?
I don't know. Like, I don't know where I heard this from, but it just registers up there whenever I think of high racism things and being like, yeah, you guys can be free, but why'd you stay? Like, why didn't you fucking go back to Africa about this shit?
Well, I mean, if you want to go down that wormhole, like, a lot of the things, like, people want to, like, shit on Christopher Columbus, obviously, for good reason. He's a fucking genocidal maniac. But, but then they look through, like, the fucking history through, like, these rose-colored glasses where they're like, Abraham Lincoln's the greatest president that ever lived. It's like, yeah. Read up on what Abraham Lincoln wanted to do with black people, because newsflash, it wasn't make them equal. Like, he was just like, well, now that they're done being slaves, let's send them all back to Africa. It's like, all right, well,
I didn't know that.
Oh yeah,
It's an eye-opening experience.
Well, that's just it, though. I mean, like, you're a prisoner of like your moment in time, though. It's like
and we got like a fucking like 400-foot tall Abraham Lincoln as like one of our biggest monuments.
Yeah,
it's on like the back of the nickel and the $5 bill.
Yeah, but like I said, you have to take it with a grain of salt, obviously, because I mean, in the moment, like, hey, let's send all these people back to Africa wasn't like as bad as, hey, let's cut off all their fucking feet and fucking make them pick cotton, like
they can't run away if we put them on an assembly line.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean,
oh, that's my wife and I saw a cotton field when we drove down.
Oh yeah,
she's like, "Is that cotton?" I was like, "Yeah,
yeah,
it is."
Did you ever see the YouTube kid or whatever is like describing the field trip he went on?
That's what I was just about to say, bro.
Oh man, that was a good one.
Yeah, because he talks about his mom being like, "This is what?"
Yeah, you have my fucking son out there picking cotton. It's like, you fucking assholes.
Oh man, that wasn't even that made me forget about the second other most racist thing that I was thinking of.
I mean, that was pretty racist. Like that was a wild trip for I think the kid was like from Alabama or something. It's like you knew that the teachers knew what they were doing,
I don't know. Maybe.
What do you mean maybe? Like, of course, like teachers were like, "Oh, we're gonna get all these black kids out there picking cotton. This is gonna be hilarious." It's like,
were
you
they
people
all
are fucking
black?
terrible. I mean, it's that area of the South, so yeah, probably.
Yeah, but the kid's also like telling this as like the token black kid in like
a
the
group
blood
of white
rotation.
guys.
Yeah,
so maybe, yeah. Anyway,
want to talk about buttholes?
I can't think of a subject I love more.
So recently I got turned on to this funny phrase about, I got this new toilet paper that turns red when I'm done wiping.
Gotcha.
And that's just funny because it's blood.
Yeah, obviously.
And so I just ate like trash over the whole entire break.
Yeah.
And I was just like, Jesus Christ, bro. Like, there really is a difference in the shit you're taking.
Oh, yeah.
When you're like eating good versus like eating like garbage.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I never like normally when we go to the thing, it's like as long as I got the hot tub on the balcony, I don't care what room we got.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, yo, I need a bidet to deal with this motherfucking shit.
Have you used a bidet before?
Never.
Oh, they're good. Yeah, they're nice.
I had a thing like probably so far up, or maybe it's on my Be a Comedian one day.
Yeah.
But it is kind of like it is like the most American story in the world for like a bidet to exist.
Yeah.
And us not to use it because it's like a little gay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We're like,
shut
like
up your
nah,
butt.
we're just gonna keep like rubbing shit into our asshole skin with our fingers and a thin layer of paper.
Yeah.
When this scientific method exists instead. Like, but it's like a little gay. It's from Europe.
Yeah, the only thing
We're gonna keep doing what we do over here.
Yeah, the only thing between you and like infectious diseases are just a thin piece of like tree bark, basically. Yeah,
As
nice.
like the Hulk is like ripping open like a Charmin.
Yeah,
Fucking.
yeah.
So that's my take on that. And I mean, really, to bounce into another thing, like the plight of wiping your ass as a long nail haver.
Yeah. Why do you have you don't have long nails, do you?
I don't, but
Yeah,
I've been
okay.
seeing mad bros at the airport who have like unkempt, just like long fingernails. And I'm
Yeah.
like, yo, what the fuck? Like, I get it. Like, if you got the one for the Coke, but
Yeah.
even that is like gay
Yeah.
to me. Like, this.
Oh, very gay.
Just use a fucking credit card or a key or some shit. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like, you're putting it on your fucking nail. Like, you're huffing a little bit of dirt and grime and
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
whatever,
just think
like-
of all the shit you
well, I
touch
just-
over the course of a day. You want that shit going like up your nose?
I just don't get it. I don't get like even my shits right now.
I mean,
are
I'll be
like-
honest. I'm envious because my fingernails don't grow anymore because they're fucking like rotting off of my body from
Yeah.
fucking bar rot. But
But
yeah.
I just be seeing this. I like hand somebody their beer and they go to grab it, and I see these fucking talons, and I'm
Yeah.
like, what the fuck, dude?
Yeah.
Like,
What are you
the
even doing with
fuck?
those?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Even the broads getting them done.
Well, the broads, like some of them are just like crazy length.
Yeah.
Like the girls that have like literal, like, you know, they come like that far off. It's like, what the fuck are you, like a character
Like,
in
you
Mortal
look like
Kombat? Like, what the
Lady
f-
Deathstrike
Yeah, what the
from-
fuck is happening right
Yeah.
now? You know, like what practical purpose does that shit serve?
I don't know.
Like, because you
Well,
can't even
I feel some of them are like a mating call.
like
like
the
it's-
long nails.
Yeah, like you're like certain levels of melatonin need not apply to this position. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
almost like
I
why do gay
I think
dudes
you
talk
meant
like
melanin,
that?
but yeah.
Yeah, sure. You know what I mean? Like I used to have this problem. Like, why do fucking gay dudes talk like that? And it's like, just in case there's another gay dude around, it's like you letting them know.
It's a
You know
call.
what I mean?
It's a call
Yeah.
to the wild.
And it's the same thing with like that shit. You know what I mean? It's just like you're saying something without saying something. You know?
Yeah, I guess. I don't know, but like what like they're just so long you can't do anything with them because even if you like scratch, like I got to imagine that they like the longer they get, like the more flimsy they get, right? So like if you're fucking doing anything, they just be popping off all day.
It's just like it's like a mental disorder.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like a pre what were we just talking about? Pre-transgender. You know what I mean? Like, you don't like the body that you're in, so you're doing these like weird
Crazy-ass
modifications
things.
and shit. Yeah, it's like one day you're gonna have too much Robitussin, and you're gonna be like, "Yeah, I should grow a dick instead of doing this." You
Yeah.
know, it's a slippery slope.
Yeah.
Walking around
guess.
with crusty asshole that you can't wipe because you got Lady Deathstrike fucking nails.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just preparing
Actually, yo, that's crazy. I waited on this girl that I worked with back in the day, and I haven't seen her in forever. And she used to have the Lady Deathstrike nails going on, and
Yeah.
she would always be like talking shit on the internet about like defending it, being like, "I don't want to hear exactly what we're talking about right now."
Yeah.
And I waited on her like a few days ago. She had nothing on her nails.
just shorn down, huh? Well,
Just-
that's probably Time has a way of doing that to people where it's like all of a sudden like, hey, you know what I don't have? $125 to fucking do nails every week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like the care to like impress anyone.
Yeah, well that too.
Like my wife came out of the bath the other day. She's been feeling down, and she had on like my standard outfit, like black sweatpants and a black V-neck T-shirt.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Nice outfit. Where'd you get that thing from?" And she
Like
was
you're-
like trying to shit on me about. She was like, "Oh yeah, like the master stylist with his sweatpants and his V-neck." And
Yeah.
it's like, who am I impressing?
I mean, what you should have been like is like, could you just like paste a beard on? Just start fucking yourself?
Nah,
Huh?
that's gay.
Is it gay to fuck yourself? Maybe.
I think about that.
Maybe it's
sometimes.
like
You do some fucking gay shit to your own dick when you jerk off. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Like, if you think about what you're doing, like, it might make you never want to do it
Well,
again.
that's just it. I mean, if you're just jerking off, like, is that gay?
I don't know.
These are the questions, you know?
It's only gay if you get to come on yourself.
Well, it's it's not gay if you're pretending you're a woman, because then how could that be gay?
All right, dude. We're done. We're getting a divorce. Oh, no. I scrolled all the way to the top. We're never
we're
going to get our
fucked.
talking points back. Yo, how about...
Joy Taylor. Yeah, I did want to bring that up.
Yeah.
I forgot all about that. What the fuck? How the fuck did that even come out?
From what I read, it's like
I only saw it like in passing like yesterday, like while I was like kind of half glancing up at the TV.
yeah,
but,
it's like, I think it's like the stylist or something like that, like the hair, like the
Yeah.
hairdresser on set or something.
all right. So
Was like she was basically like venting to Joy Taylor, I think, about like the sexual harassment on the set or something, and she was like, "Man up, bitch, and suck a dick." Like, what the fuck? What do you think we're doing over here?
yeah. Well, so so what I gathered from it was that like she's always been like a proponent of like women have it harder, women need to work 10 times as hard, and now people are shitting on her for like fucking her way to the top in essence. But it's
You
kind
go fuck Emmanuel Ocho. That sounds like a fucking chore
Well,
to
that
me.
was just it. To me, I was just kind of like, doesn't that kind of like speak to exactly what she's saying? Like to me, I'm like, dude, I don't want to get piped by some fucking dude to get a goddamn television show on sports on fucking ESPN. Like,
It's like who?
Yeah.
Like I married a girl that I work with.
yeah.
Who doesn't meet? Who
Oh, I
doesn't
know,
date
yeah.
in the workplace?
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
exactly,
You act
you know?
like this is like this obscene thing. Like everybody's fucking somebody in the copy room, and
Exactly.
you're acting like it's this big deal.
Well, that's just it. So she's fucking, so that way she can get a fucking television show on ESPN. Dude, how many fucking women have you ever worked with that are fucking the manager just so they don't have to work Sundays? Like, what a fucking pathetic shit that is. Like, go fuck yourself. Like, you're a fucking loser. She's at least fucking people to get like a fucking, 7-figure fucking job at ESPN. Like, you're a fucking loser. I don't know.
I just thought about the prospect of like having to fuck some fucking girl that I was just completely unattractive to for like the prospect of having Sundays off, and I was just like, oh,
You know what?
oh.
Maybe it's like an older thing, but like when I was younger, like I would have literally fucked almost anything. Like, I would have like found some sort of good in anybody and be like, oh, fuck that girl, But now that I'm older, I'm finally confronted with people where I'm like, I would never have sex with that fucking girl.
Yeah.
Like ever, And don't get me wrong, I'm sure there's people who say the same about me. Probably a lot of people. There's a lot of people in the world who don't want to fuck me. So I understand the feeling. But like, I'll just like focus in on something where it's like some girl has like nasty teeth. I'm just like, ugh, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like,
Yeah.
you get a toothbrush, man. Like, pull a couple of those things out. They're
Your
pointing in
fucking
all different
parents
directions.
don't understand how genetics work.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Nah, but like, maybe that's just my libido finally like crashing to earth. But like, I don't know. When I was 19, like I wouldn't have given a fuck. I would have fucked literally anything.
Yeah, I just don't, I just think that you maybe did a better job. You had a stronger filter on.
Maybe.
You know what I mean? You're the only people that you would that were coming up. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? You
that's
weren't like the 50-year-old worm working at the library wasn't like on your radar. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like,
Yeah. Every now and again, though, I'd catch myself looking at some like ugly broad, and I'm just like, I'd fuck you.
that's why we make such a good yin and yang.
I was always just one of those people that just, I liked the girl with the lazy eye or like the limp or like somebody like fucking weird, like, give me the chick that has something wrong with her.
You think your genetics can save the next generation?
No, well, I don't even care about that. To me, it's just like, I wonder what that's like, I don't know.
I guess.
Uh,
I mean, that's a funny thing to tie into. I may be ugly, but I fuck like the government.
Yeah, well, that's another thing too. Is like how many like chicks who were like good looking, like have you fucked? Where it's like you get them in there and you're just like, this is like the most unfun thing I could possibly like. I would rather be watching like television right now. This is fucking unbearable. Like they just lay there and take it like a dead fish. It's just like, all right,
Yeah, no vibe. You gotta have
yeah.
the vibes.
I mean, I feel like if you're talking percentage wise, like hot chicks, maybe 1 out of 4 probably like fuck. Like, yeah, you got yourself a girl who's like a little heavier and maybe like, a fucking, lisp or something. It's like, that girl's fucking hard. Like, she's got to,
That just brings me back to the joke from back in the day. Like, why do fat chicks give good head?
Because they have to.
They have to.
Yeah, exactly.
They have to.
And also, like, fuck it,
I mean, how about
we're all just trying to make it through this world. So,
Yeah.
everybody wants to get fucked.
We're all
That's
just
all right.
trying to pretend that we're not circling a fireball of nuclear activity
Yeah,
on,
exactly.
on a rock.
I think,
How about?
I think traditional beauty is kind of I don't know, kind of bullshit. So
How about my man's on the Price is Right getting his shirt censored?
I didn't see that. What happened?
So he's on the Price is Right, and he's got a shirt, and it says 2 in the Plinko and 1 in the Stinko.
Oh shit!
And then they come back from commercial, and they made him put a piece of duct tape over the fucking over the punchline on the
Oh
shirt.
my god, that's fucking awesome.
Yeah. I've had that happen to me before. I went to the first Ozfest that I went to in the 9th grade. I came back wearing the shirt, and it says the greatest fucking show on earth on the back, and like he was my track coach, but he was also like a Bible thumper.
Yeah.
And he like came by and put a piece of masking tape over the word fucking.
Yeah.
And he did it in like a discreet way where he was like walking around the room and he just like put his hand on my shoulder. And you know what I mean? And if it wasn't for like the other goth kid sitting behind me,
Yeah.
like, just put the fucking tape on the, you know what I mean? It's like, what the fuck, bro?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess he was cool. He could have sent me to the office and they would have made me wear like a stupid Pirates t-shirt or something
Right.
instead. That was like the penalty, you know what I mean, for you.
It's a Pirates t-shirt?
That was like the mascot of the school, you know what I mean?
Gotcha.
They would like punish you by make you wear some school spirit.
I was just picturing them being like, now you're a fucking Pittsburgh Pirates fan, you bitch.
You're gonna suffer.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I remember being in fucking middle school wearing like a shirt with like a pot leaf on it or something, being like, you have to turn that inside out. It's like, oh, who
Yeah.
gives a fuck?
Yeah, that's what I thought about the Plinko guy. I was
Yeah.
like, they didn't just make him turn it inside out?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Well, I mean, I guess it would just read the same thing in reverse. Right?
I guess. Or it wouldn't, I doubt it was like that high quality of a shirt was like
Went all the way
the
through.
thing was showing through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
What about this thing that I saw in the doom scroll too? I guess there's this trend of like when you die, you put your favorite recipe on your tombstone.
that's
And,
weird.
and yeah, it's weird, but there's a broad who goes around. She like makes it a travel point
Yeah.
to like go to like I don't know how she finds them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But she like it's like, oh, there's this bitch in Nebraska, so she goes there and she like eats Barbara's cookies with her.
Yeah.
And she leaves some on the tombstone too. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But it's like I thought about that and I immediately was like, Brennan's fucking Robitussin pills.
Yeah.
That's on his tombstone. No fucking questions asked.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
you know what we've skipped over on the FS1 thing is
What?
that Skip Bayless.
Yeah.
My man Skip Bayless is accused of offering $1.5 million to bang this chick.
Joy Taylor?
No, I don't think it was Joy.
Oh,
I think
just-
it's like the girl who's like making the complaint.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? $1.5 million. Like, do you know how many fucking whores and prostitutes you could buy in like Las Vegas for that? Aren't there legal brothels in Las Vegas?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like, what are you doing, Skip? You're wasting all your money?
Not to mention $1.5 million, lady. Like, why is this even a story? Because the answer is yes.
And that's what makes me think that this is all bullshit.
Bullshit,
Because you
yeah.
can't even legally give somebody $1.5 million.
Yeah, I wouldn't even
like,
begin
what are
to
you
know
gonna,
how
you're
the
gonna give her
fucking-
a bag of cash and tell her to put like $1,000 in the bank for the next 52 years
Yeah.
to fucking, you know what I'm saying?
Right,
Like,
yeah.
it's like you
All
can't
to
even,
get fucked by Skip Bayless?
you can't even, you can give somebody like a legal gift of like, so I think it's like 5 figures or something
Right.
like that. You know what I mean? Or there's like a family loophole or something, but you just can't just be giving people money like
Yeah.
that without there being like tax consequences
Right.
and paperwork to follow it.
Yeah.
Yo, and I feel like it's all bullshit too, because Skip be like, he's like a dedicated family man to his girl Ernestine. Like, I know Skip Bayless's wife's name from him talking about her on the show.
Yeah, that doesn't mean anything, though.
I don't know, dude. You're feeling you're just gonna bring up Ernestine in front of like the chick that you're banging, giving money to like make her feel awkward on the set.
Yeah, well, maybe it was a power play.
Man, you know who's fucking loving this right now?
Who?
Terrell Owens, LeBron James. Like, who
Yeah.
else? Who else is like Skip Bayless been like on their ass about? Michael Vick too. I remember him giving Michael Vick a tough time.
Oh yeah. Well, Well, first of all, everyone just loves watching Skip Bayless fucking flounder anyway. So I mean, the fact that he's like embroiled in this shit is fucking hilarious. But
He's always like posting pictures of himself. I follow him on Instagram.
Yeah.
But he's always like posting pictures of himself in his J's.
what, like Jordan?
He's like, yeah, you can't stop me in my 23s.
Yeah.
But like sometimes he's not even wearing like he's wearing what you call in the hobby the Miguels.
what? Oh, like Fair Nordens.
Yeah, they're like the mashup Jordans that
Yeah.
like they're not like the Jordans with the numbers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the ones that he wore on the court. They're like these mashup trainers where they have like the sole from like the 6s and the toe box from like the 8s. And
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like if you have a bunch of Jordans, you can pick them apart. But like you would never buy them. Like as an enthusiast of like retros,
Right.
you look at those as like,
They're bastardizations.
yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
But they're huge in the Mexican culture.
Yeah.
They love them. So you call them the Miguels.
Miguel's. Yeah.
Yeah. But sometimes Skip be having the trainers on like that too, and you're like, "Yo, why are you posting those, Skip? What are those?
I don't know.
What are those?"
I gotta believe that this story's fucking bullshit anyway. Just because, like, I'm sorry, but who doesn't fuck Skip Bayless for $1.5 million? Like, I would fuck Skip Bayless for $1.5 million.
You're thinking about it right now. You're like salivating at the bit. Like, I
just-
wish somebody would give me the opportunity.
I'm just saying, if given the opportunity, like, I'll put it this way, man. Like, I don't even know what my number is, but it's lower than 1.5 million.
This
You know,
brings me
like,
back to like a funny conversation that you've had with me, where like your wife was telling you, like, "Yo, your kids are gonna find this one day."
oh yeah, well, whatever. Hey, I mean, let me tell you right now, if my kids are watching this, if some strange man has the gumption to pay you 1.5 million to fuck you, absolutely
cash,
take it.
boys.
Take it. Yeah.
Get in that van that says "free puppies."
Do it and then fucking take me to a baseball game afterwards.
Nice.
We'll talk all about it. It'll be
Take me
great.
to the World
Yeah,
Series.
Exactly. Fucking get me front row seats to a fucking baseball game. Be like, Dad, I had to suck a dick to get these. I'd be like, I'd high five you. I'd fucking be like, word.
Dude,
Thank you, man.
I saw some.
Let's go get some crab legs.
I saw some video where it's like some girl. She must be like an OnlyFans girl or something like
Yeah.
that. But she's like showing her Thanksgiving, and she's like, or maybe it's her Christmas or something. She's like, "Look at all this great food and everything like that." And her dad's like in the corner. He's like, "I'm not having any of it." And she's like, "What's your problem?" And he's like, "Did you suck any dick to buy this?" And he's like, "Holy shit, dude!" Like,
Damn.
yeah, that's a proud
that was
dad.
a Folgers taster.
Why did he even show up to
moment
Christmas?
captured. Yeah, seriously. Like,
are you
Did you
doing?
come here just to say that?
Yeah, I think he did.
Damn. I don't know. I don't have a daughter, but if I did, like, I wouldn't be against her doing OnlyFans shit because, like, that's a solid way of making money. You know,
I mean,
like
it's
as long as
better-
you're not blowing it up your fucking nose. I mean,
It's better than doing the alternate route of porn.
or
You know
just
that there's no royalties in porn.
I don't even understand how there's any money in porn at this point. Like, who's buying these fucking subscriptions? Like, who owns like a Brazzers account? Like, I don't understand that.
I think it's from like, dude, like if you drive through where I drove through,
Yeah.
where there's like nothing, it's there.
But there's
It's gotta
internet
be.
porn still for free. Like, you can't. What are you doing? Like, I don't understand that. Like, if you have like porn accounts, like you have to have a problem, like a serious
That's what
problem.
it is.
Yeah, but that's like. I mean, I'm not even talking like a porn problem. I'm talking like you are just like financially unsound. Like, how do you not know that like there's just you want that video? All you have to do is just watch a video that doesn't have the cum shot and it's like fucking free on the internet. There you
Or
go.
it's like that's
Yeah.
like what you choose to spend your money on. Like that's your fucking GI Joe hobby or whatever. Your
It's
train,
just,
your
it's
train
just
set.
collecting fucking
Yeah.
lousy porn subscriptions.
Or you know
Yeah.
who else I'll throw into the mix on this is because if you have the subscription, I think you can download,
Yeah.
right? And I come across all these bros that work out on the fucking like the offshore energy
Yeah.
stuff at the airport. So like they go out for 3 weeks and they come back for 3 weeks and they don't got nothing.
Oh yeah, that
So like
makes
unless
sense.
you got like a hard drive full of titties,
Right.
like you're not having a good time
You're
out there.
jerking off like it's fucking 1979.
Yeah, so it's like maybe you grab.
you remember jerking off to memory? You remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Kids,
can't-
the
I-
kids these days, they don't, get it.
I don't think I could even do that nowadays.
No, I definitely couldn't. Yeah. Like
I'd have a hard time.
Yeah. I'll be honest with you, man. I could hardly jerk off to fucking porn anymore. I feel like that's just I'm so desensitized to like fucking like people having sex and watching it. It's like unless it's like some Caligula shit where it's like, you know, take a shit on that guy's head while she puts her fucking arm in your ass. It's like, I don't know, man. Nothing moves the needle anymore.
Wow.
Just saying. Can you imagine what the next generation's going to be like? Like,
I think we talked about this last. Like I had
We
this
did?
bartender lady that has like 2 younger sons, and
Yeah.
it's like the oldest one was like too young to be watching this anyway, but he was showing the younger one,
yeah.
and it's like by the time that kid actually touches a girl, it's like the shit that he's gonna see.
Yeah.
Like
It's going to be fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it's gonna be some weird shit where you just like hold hands with like a VR headset on. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
like
Well, I could definitely picture that, like VR being like the next, like, I mean, the bottom line is everything makes money once people learn how they can fuck it. It's basically
Yeah.
like my rule of thumb. So like that's going to be the next watershed, like kind of like, you know, people are going to be like just strapped into chairs with like fleshlights and shit.
it's
and,
already
like,
there,
yeah.
dude. I've seen
Yeah.
like people getting caught doing that shit on like the doom scroll. You know what I mean? It's like
You have a weird doom scroll then.
I guess you'll come. It's like a roommate coming home and like the guy's got the headset on, sitting in like his jerk off chair. You're like, what do you think he's doing over there?
Have you ever seen the TikTok video where it's like a guy comes home and his roommate's like on the couch and he's just like up on doggy style, like going like that? And she's like, oh, gross, dude. But then he goes into the bedroom, and then the other roommate is just on the bed, like,
no, I haven't seen that.
That's funny.
No, that's what you're talking about, though. Like, that's what it's going to be.
Yeah. I mean, once, I don't know, man. I guess.
I mean, dude, it is idiocracy.
Yeah, 1,000%.
It's also
everybody's in Crocs. Do you know the story about it?
I do.
Yeah, where he was just like, I tried to pick whatever shoe looked the fucking dumbest possible and then had everyone wear it. And it's like, and then that happened. Everyone wears Crocs now. I have to beg my kids to not wear Crocs outside.
Yeah.
Like, I have to be like, it's fucking 26 degrees and fucking sleeting outside. You cannot wear plastic shoes that have holes in them. Like, put on a fucking pair of shoes, dude.
They wear them with socks?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah.
I used to work with this one girl that wore like the work Crocs with no socks, and like anytime I saw her, I would be like, "Yo, those things have to reek."
Yeah, they got to be
like.
Funky
There's no way
fuck.
that doesn't. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no way you don't stink after you work.
No shit. Yeah. Well, yeah, your feet fucking reek when they like don't have like fucking like the sweat sopped up by the socks. That's the whole point of the socks. And like then like to have them stuck in like a not like fucking breathable fucking plastic material. It's like
it's a nightmare.
Your feet must fucking stink.
That reminds me of this funny thing I saw from Tom Segura. One time he's like my whole game plan when I was young, when I was fucking, is like, if it smelled funny, I'm putting my mouth on it.
Yeah, it's usually a good rule of thumb. It's a good way to get fucking herpes simplex all over your face.
I wanted to talk about the idiocracy thing more. This is how far it's come, right? We have this host at my job, and she's probably like a 50-year-old immigrant. She's from South America somewhere, Mexico. Who fucking knows, right?
Yeah.
She's got an accent, but she like understands English. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She's Americanized as
she's a host, so it'd be kind of shitty if she didn't. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
So, but she rolls around. She wears the mask still. She wears the gloves. It's like she helps bust tables too. So I get it. Like you're wearing the gloves to bust tables, I guess. But I don't see this bitch changing gloves like all the time. You know what I mean? So you got these fucking gloves on. And I feel like the science behind the gloves is that they transmit more if you're going all around than anything else. You know what I mean? And she's constantly got her mask up and down, right? And so the last thing I see when I'm leaving my shift for the week is this fucking broad pull her mask down with the gloves she's been wearing all day and proceed to fucking peel and eat a banana.
Oh, my God. Yeah.
And I just want to be like, how fucking dumb, how fucking stupid are you, lady?
Like, let me pick the fruit that I have to put my hands on the most.
Like, I was just like, Jesus fucking Christ. Like, and she was like the one, she also was like starting drama, being like, we had like a bartender covering from another store.
Yeah.
And one of the servers, like, I can't even see Joe saying anything like this because she's like a cool laid back lady. You know what I mean? And she said something, she said she doesn't like you and shit. And it's like, yo, fucking COVID lady, worry about your fucking microbiology more than like starting drama at this fucking restaurant. You know what I mean? Like, scram.
Yeah.
Scram. Oh, how about, I see this a lot at the airport too, the free Karen Reed hoodie. Do you know who that is?
Well, yeah, she's like the fucking chick from Ken,
She like killed a cop.
Yeah.
So I guess all the other cops should kill her.
Yeah.
Compared to what we were
should have never made it this far.
But yeah,
You're
like,
lucky, Karen Reed.
Instead of wearing like the NWA fuck the police hoodie, like free Karen Reed is just like the PC.
So is that like now the you remember how like the fucking loser Trump guys were always like, let's go Brandon. Remember that shit? That's like the let's go Brandon and fuck the police.
I guess, yeah.
All right.
My buddy, like one of my longtime friends was like making big bucks, like moving
Let's go Brandon.
Yeah, like because his family owned like a print shop or something like that. So he was like making all this shit and like killing it.
Dude,
he was like driving truckloads of this stuff to like rallies and shit, and like selling out. You know what I mean? So all I can think of is that that was my first thought when they announced that like Kamala was like shadily taking over. You know what I mean? I was like, yo, I hope my boy didn't just print up a bunch of fucking Brandon shit.
Yeah.
In like anticipation of the election, and now he's sitting on all this
Yeah, like I hope that didn't happen to my man's.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you live by the gun, you die by the gun.
Yeah, I guess. It's only paper. If
I guess a bunch of African kids are going to be outfitted in Let's Go Brandon shit.
dude, that'd be funny to see.
See that African village? Anyway.
I don't know. Another thing I see at the airport a lot is I just drink coffee all day.
Yeah.
Right? So I wake up, I drink this 32-ounce thing of water in my little packets. I have my big-ass cup of coffee. I have my smoothie, right? So by the time I get to the airport, I have to fucking piss.
Yeah.
And I got to be, I'm just pissing all day because then I just start drinking coffee. So I super hydrate myself, and then I just drink
Flush
coffee
it
all
all
day
out.
long for the next 8 hours. But I stay pissing, you know what I mean? So you come across the guys who are taking care of the bathrooms quite a bit. And the bathrooms at TF Green are like, people talk about them. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? They're like white marble. They're like, they got the plastic thing on the seat that like reloads for you every time and shit.
Oh,
Like,
shit.
yeah, and there's all these things on the wall like vote for us as best airport bathroom. You could win a trip to like New Zealand or some bullshit. You know what I mean? So I see these guys and I'm always like, damn, bro. Like, and some of them are like the typical like immigrant, happy to have a job. This guy's probably been doing this for 20 years. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
there's a couple younger dudes in there. And I'm like, yo, you're like able-bodied. Like, you could be like fucking doing cinder blocks. You know what I mean? Like, doing what we do. Like, what is fucking making you do this? You know what I mean? Like, are you just fucking lazy? Like, your nose doesn't work right? Like, because you think about it, like, all you're doing, you're surrounded by shit all day long.
Yeah.
And then my brain was like, yo, he just has to smell the shit. You have to interact and pretend to like the shit
Right.
on a personal level all day.
Yeah.
So if all things are the same monetarily wise, I'll be the janitor, no problem.
Yeah. Well, so one of my favorite job, well, actually my second favorite job ever was I was a janitor. I was a janitor at a hotel. It was fucking awesome. It was a hotel that was like across, I lived on like kind of like a lake, like a little man-made lake, but across the lake though was my condo complex and the fucking hotel was on the other side. So like I would show up to work, they give you like a list of like 14 things that any fucking idiot could do in like an hour. And then after that, you just had a walkie-talkie. And it was like when, public space, some kid pissed in the stairwell. It's like, all right, I'll go fucking mop that shit up. So I would just show up there, do my fucking job, and then I would literally go home. I would just go home, smoke pot on my fucking couch, watch TV, and I'd have the
walkie-talkie went off,
there. So that they would just be like, public space, you go to building 3, and I'd be like, I'll be there in 5 minutes. It's like I would just get back in my car, I got paid like, a 40-hour work week for doing like 4.5 hours of work a week.
Yeah.
It's fucking awesome. But yeah, and also like those dudes are like most of the time are like in a union. So like it's a union job. Depending on where you're a fucking janitor. My buddy's dad was a fucking maintenance guy at Bryant College. Well, now it's Bryant University, but then it was Bryant College. And he got his fucking education paid for. It's a fucking $200,000 education paid for because his dad was a fucking maintenance worker. Like if you can get in, they'll pay your fucking
there's
way.
a difference between like maintenance and janitor. Like I'm talking about like
I mean, I bet you he fixed I bet you he snaked a few fucking toilets in his day. Like just saying. It might be fancier apples, but they're still apples.
Yeah.
They comparing apples to oranges.
I have a regular who's like a maintenance guy at PC.
Yeah.
And like his kids are all paid for.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like he just went to their graduations.
Yeah.
So I guess if you pay for your kid's college education for having to deal with some shit every
$200,000
now
fucking
and then,
bonus. Yeah. Again, like I'm
Especially
talking about fucking Skip Bayless for $1.5 million for $200,000. Yeah, I would fucking clean a toilet.
Yeah, I mean, you pretty much phrase it like all of your kids can have college educations if you just let Skip have his way with you.
I mean, I still would.
Can you dress up like a maid in blackface and let Skip fuck you while he talks shit about LeBron?
Jesus Christ. I mean,
that's what he would want.
Yeah, that is probably what he would want, huh?
And also, while we're talking about the janitor thing, I could very much see a watchable Scrubs, the TV show Scrubs, where they just insert you as the janitor instead of that other guy.
I could pull that off.
The dad from the middle.
Yeah.
He's pretty funny.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if we got if we missed one damn thing on. Oh, we did.
The seagull laxative prep?
Yeah, have you ever seen that?
I recently saw it actually the other day.
I might have shared it.
Yeah. Oh, maybe
like in my
that's what it was.
stories or something. But like, it is epic.
Yeah.
It is epic. The localized destruction that causes.
Yeah.
Like how
I mean,
it didn't-
people were running for their
yeah,
lives.
like how it didn't make it into like something that they do on Fight Club.
yeah.
You know what I mean? As like the
Right.
what would you
Project
call it?
Chaos.
Yeah, like it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Maybe they just thought they didn't want to curse the world with it.
Well, I mean, I think probably the longer segment of that clip would be then all of the seagulls like falling out of the sky and dying. Because I'm pretty sure you can't just give 400 seagulls like 5 fucking boxes of laxatives.
I think you
So I don't know. Fuck seagulls anyway. They're like the rats of the sky, but like, I still wouldn't want to.
I don't even think seagulls migrate anymore. They just freeze to death and hope for the best.
Probably they have that like the lifespan of like flies. So like, fuck it, I'm only here for 6 months. Might as well just eat all this garbage.
Isn't that like fucking Mike Tyson's hobby? It's like keeping pigeons.
Yeah. He's a weirdo in that regard.
He's a weirdo in general, bro.
Yeah.
Like that shit where like he'd be saying some gay shit to people in his like rants.
Yeah. I'm gonna fuck you in the ass.
Like he says
what?
something like "I'll fuck you till you love me, faggot" or something like that. You're like, no, Mike, I think you're the faggot. What are you talking about right now?
I don't know. What's gayer, to take or to receive?
Just to be in the room. All right, fucking.
So what? Even if you're like the cuck in the chair?
Yeah.
I don't know. That doesn't track. I
I don't know how anybody could ever be the cuck.
Like how people could be into like that shit.
Yeah, you gotta like hate your wife.
Yeah.
You gotta be like, I hope he fucking kills her by mistake. Yeah, blame it on this guy.
Yeah. I don't know.
Say it wasn't my idea.
Yeah, people are fucking weird. I guess teach their own, but I think we hit everything.
Yeah, aside from just like me having like the preemptive thought of like an old lady being like, I used to wait tables back in the day, and me being like, you're a whore. If you're in the restaurant industry for long enough, you will become a whore, and that's what you're telling me right now, lady. Are you trying to fuck me in the bathroom?
Yeah.
Is that what you're telling me, old lady? Because beat it. Scram.
Did I talk about this last time? The dudes who like come in and like try to tell you like what places were like 20 years ago?
Yeah.
Fucking hate those dudes. This place was busy 20 years ago. It's like, yeah, well, you also
Well,
were.
you stopped coming.
Yeah, exactly. Well,
Thanks a lot. Oh, you mean you went and started a family and were responsible and
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
This place used to be the place to be 20 years ago. It's like, well, now I want you to fucking leave again. So
it's like, where'd you guys go after this 20 years ago? Is it still open?
yeah.
Like I will as much shit as I talk about them, like I will give them credit. Like they've been open.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like
Yeah, but it's not just that place. I've heard that like every place I fucking went, every place that's been open for like longer than 2 decades has like that group of guys that comes in and just wants to tell you how much better it was 20 years ago.
Like, than crawling in pussy no more.
Exactly. Yeah, so
Shut
yeah,
up.
it's like, dude, who the fuck would ever want to fuck your geriatric disgusting ass? Fucking crusty pubes and shit.
Oh, you know what we didn't
yeah,
touch
we're not
on?
gonna fucking touch on it because my boy is above that.
He's
We're
above
not-
it? All
we're
right,
not-
we're gonna skip it.
Yeah.
We're gonna skip
Nah,
it.
I'm just fucking with you. You can talk about it.
No,
if you
I
want.
don't care.
No,
How about
I'm very sensitive about Matt Stafford.
How about
you can talk about it.
how
if you want.
about are you an X-Men guy at any point in your life? Do you
Yeah,
ever
like
follow
young-
the X-Men?
Well, I mean, like like in 4th, 5th grade, I had like the cards and shit. Yeah.
You had the cards.
Yeah.
So you probably know about the character Multiple Man.
No.
No?
Yeah, no.
Well, you can assume by his name that he can just create duplicates of himself, right?
Yeah.
So that leads me to one thing on here. It's like, can the Kool-Aid Man essentially pour himself out across multiple pitchers and split his
And then
consciousness into an army of smaller Kool-Aid men?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, I guess maybe that would be the. Have you ever heard like the would you rather fight one giant duck or like 100 ducks kind
Yeah.
of thing? So
Yeah.
yeah.
Like the Kool-Aid Man, or like, you never see these like little like Korean robots that can go into like your blood and unclog your arteries?
What? Like nano shit?
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
But like essentially the Kool-Aid Man, you can just turn yourself into little individual particles of Kool-Aid, you know what I mean? And now you're like flowing under doors and
Yeah. I mean, he's a cartoon character, so I mean, we could start with that. So right off the bat,
it's like, Ryan, he doesn't fucking flow under doors. He comes through the wall.
Yeah.
All right, you
true.
uncultured fucking, you don't
Oh,
know shit
yeah.
about fuck when it comes to Kool-Aid.
yeah. I love Kool-Aid, but yeah. Oh, I want to eat a dyke's pussy. Okay. Yeah. Is that
Yeah,
what-
but then at the end,
yeah.
everything just comes back to it being gay.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, what did I just do? What did I just say I wanted to do?
Yeah.
That's not how she's viewing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. That might be all we got for this
All right. Yeah.
first inaugural. Well, not inaugural. First of the year.
Yeah. First of the year. First of 2025.
Happy New Year, Brennan.
Yeah. Happy
Thanks,
New Year,
thanks
Ray.
for doing this with me.
Yeah.
And our 55 plus some odd subscribers.
Yeah. My resolution is to figure out how to use social media this year.
I've had that resolution for a while now, and I just keep working 6 days a week like a retard.
Yeah, pretty much. I just keep fantasizing about fucking Skip Bayless for millions of dollars.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know.
Call me Skip.
Call me Skip. Call
Anyway.
me Skip. We can put the videos on my external hard drive.
Joy Taylor, good for you.
Oh, Joe, I'll leave. Well, let's leave it on this to a consummate professional in Colin Coward. Is that his name?
Yeah.
There's a picture
I
of him.
fucking hate that guy, but yeah.
But
continue.
there's a
Yeah.
picture of him doing like a photo with her at a party or something like that, and he's giving her the full Keanu Reeves.
What's the
You see how
Keanu Reeves?
Keanu Reeves be taking pictures with people like this, like he doesn't touch them.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like he just makes it look like he's got his arm around you.
Yeah, but he does actually
But
not
that
touching
Colin
him.
Coward, it was like three things to do. It was like don't let your genitals line up in the photo. It was like no, because his hands are like like no actual physical touch.
Yeah.
and like eyes looked straight ahead or something like that. It was like true professional, not
Yeah.
getting caught up in the mix.
Consummate professional. Yeah.
I mean, you'd have to pay $1.5 million to fuck Colin Coward as compared to.
Well, I would have to pay $1.5 million.
That's what I'm
Colin
saying.
Coward?
Like I think I like him better than Skip.
I mean, I'm not paying $1 million to fuck Colin Coward.
That's the difference.
Actually, no,
That's
maybe
the swing.
Maybe I would actually, just as like a power thing.
And nobody would ever know because he's a professional.
That's true. Yep. You pay for the discretion. That's
Yeah.
what it's all about.
You pay for him to go home, baby.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
All right,
All right, guys.
Like, share, subscribe, help us out. Go
Yeah.
fuck yourselves.
Bye.